Well, let's take that and go into the next section because it is talking about sellers. So, what are some of the things that like sellers should be aware of right now in the market that's working for the sellers that are getting a house on the market and selling quickly? What are some of the things that buyers can be looking at, of course, but sellers need to know in the readiness of their house compared to all the other inventory that's all of a sudden shown up in the last couple months?
Yesterday's price is not today's price. No, but I think they need to be pricing the house to sell, not to maximize their profits. That season was a few years ago. It's the season that if you want to move your house, you want to get your house sold, you have to play ball and put it at a range where it's, incentivizing for other people to want to go and look at it, want to go and actually purchase it. Because if you already price it very high, there's other properties around that neighborhood that aren't as, equivalent to that property. They're already going to, discard your house for the price that's not, fitting that range. So I think pricing it right and giving yourself runway to be able to go up to a higher price is a smarter strategy than pricing it high and coming down.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
There's so many different type of realtors out there that just do their business differently, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So you got the ones that, I'm going to put your house on the market. We're going to put it at a lower price. Let's just say it's, the average market home for that square footage, bedroom and bath count, it's going to be like, let's just say 550,000, right? They'll try to put it like at 510.
Yeah.
Can we create a bidding war, right? There's some agents that take that approach and they'll end up getting sometimes higher than that 550 mark, Then you have those ones that your home selling for 550. No, but I think I've done upgrades and I didn't see that one that did so many upgrades. So I want to try 580 and then they're sitting on the market longer. And what starts happening with that, the tendency of that is that then buyers that are really looking at that property are saying like, why has it been sitting on the market so long?
What's wrong with it?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you are going to be a seller right now, use the proper approach and you have to really do your due diligence to make sure you're hiring the right agent.
And I know something that I've been seeing a lot of is people talking about what can be, and it's not to overlook what the house is, right? But maybe the house's current features aren't that like strong of a selling point. Yeah. It's talking about what it can be. And in our area where we talk about a garage that can be converted or a second story that can be added or enough land on the lot that an ADU could be added, I'm seeing a lot of that terminology in like seller remarks or also just in the property description. Imagine yourself here with the da-da-da-da. So there's kind of like that. And it's not just the multi-generational slant to it. It's actually the revenue stream slant or the live out what you've been wanting to kind of terminology. So I think it's that like being, first of all, that's happening. But I'm saying that to sellers who are looking to put their house on the market, like understand that the buyer is trying to envision their future at your place as much as they are the next place. Mm-hmm. So whatever your place might have that maybe isn't that like sexy or appealing, well, what is it that they do want there that you could also be communicating to them as what's possible, and then be on your toes for the concession conversation.
Yeah,
that's the other part.
That's a great point. If you're a lot of times when I'm at my own property, I don't see it like other people see it. And then you get that realtor that comes in and they have the whole vision of like, hey, have you thought of using this lot or turning that garage into a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, unit, ADU? You're in San Diego, you can do that. So it's really good that they're putting these things on the remarks because then it really does help that first time home buyer visualize that, have that vision that, you know what, I can do this maybe later.
Mm-hmm. I love that because I'm going to use a live example. You guys know, and maybe some of you all know too, is like I'm looking for like ranch and land and space. And one of the things I came across in the last week was a place that had a concrete pad. And it said this concrete pad is already suitable for mobile home storage, RV, or mobile home, not mobile home, RV storage, boat, or can be used to add a workshop or a greenhouse. And I'm like, oh, that's actually, okay, I just see a concrete pad.
Manufactured ADU.
But it shows me all those, or the manufactured ADU, right? But the description was like, hey, it can be all these things. Like, don't just look at the concrete pad and say it's concrete pad. It could be something that you actually are looking to put here. I think that's really smart.
And I think it goes to like, people are so tunnel vision when they're shopping. They're like, oh, I need this, I need that, I need that they really forget that they can have all this other vision and they're just looking at the house. Does it have this? Does it have that? But then if you take it a step further, like Andy says, you have a vision, you can then build on it as time comes. It's more like okay, I'm going to park this for right now, but I'm going to work at it as I get into the property.
No, absolutely. You got to give people an idea, help them understand what they can do, and if you have that already in the remarks, that's great because you hired the right person to sell that house for you. They know, they understand, what you're able and capable of doing with that, which is, I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And more people should do that.
Yeah, for me, the right incentive, smart pricing, and good information is going to help sell the house a lot faster.
And I love that you guys are making these points because these are the variables and these are the characteristics of the deals that we have buyers in escrow for.
Yeah.
So it's one thing for us to like posture, oh, these are the things, but it's like these are actually the things. These are the things that are showing up in the escrows that are right in front of us. So those of you who are on the other side of this conversation, you're like, well, I wonder if that's true and happening. Yeah, that's why we're bringing it up.
Yeah.
So
no, and I'm glad. There's again the real estate markets has really shifted. When we first got into the industry back in 2006, real estate was very different than what it is now. We used to not have staging of homes. A lot of times these sellers they're already out. They're like their home is already closing in say Montana, and they're already off to the races. And so they depart their residence, and now their property is vacant. And this is so common. Unless you get that proper realtor, they'll come in and stage the property. A lot of times I like seeing a home that's empty. Yeah, it's empty, but there's no vision. There's no where do I put certain things, or how can I do this, or where am I going to hang the TV? But then these stagers come in and they give you these ideas, and you're like, I wouldn't have thought to do, put the bed like that, or put a TV there, or put a dining set of such, and it's pretty cool when people get creative and they do those sort of things.
I agree with you on that because I'm the person that if I see a blank canvas, I see a blank canvas. That's it. But then when I walk into houses, I see stuff, I'm like, oh, dude, I never even thought of being able to do that. Oh, I would maybe switch it like this, but I have an idea of what can be done. But if I just see a blank house, like me personally, and I'm sure there's a lot of people like that, oh, well, it looks good, but okay. You don't really visualize what could be done.
Yeah, be aware of what you're selling. I mean, that's just, I think the bottom line for me is just be aware of what you're selling and know what else is being sold in and around you, or the type of buyer you're hoping to attract to your place. Know what else that they will be looking at. Just be realistic with yourself. Be honest with what you have in your hands and your possession that you're looking for someone else to take off.
Yeah, that's it. One of the biggest things that I have been seeing is color tones. If you're putting out there like these big reds, these big blues, these yellows, I'm telling you, there's nothing better just going back to basic white.
We had a client last year. He was selling his condo, and when they first put it up for sale, that he had green walls all over the living room, the kitchen. The house didn't sell, so they had to go and repaint the walls. They painted them white. And then guess what happened? The house sold.
It's so many of those
so
stories.
silly.
I do share that because it's like I'm telling you, it's pride of ownership a lot of times. And if I'm selling, I do like green, I do like reds, right? And I'm seeing this thing. It's like, well, I like that. It should stay. I'm sure everybody else is going to like that. But you know what? Sometimes it's just best to go basic and go neutral, paint that thing white, and you'd be surprised what the outcome's going to be.
Yeah, it's silly, but it's
little things, right? And it's a small freaking fix. So many times I've seen people just, how do your home inspection go? Oh, well, they have these holes right there. I still just wanted to put and see maybe if the seller was going to be in agreement of making the repair. Sometimes it's not for little things like that.
Yeah.
Things go sideways. Not worth it.
I always tell them if it's within reason and it's not over the top, ask for it.
Ask for it. Ask.